I hope you guys are ready for some breaking crypto news. But first up, let's look at the chart of Bitcoin. A lot of these charts I've showed you guys have actually been pretty accurate in calling the bottom of Bitcoin because we hit oversold levels that were so similar to the past every single other time we bottomed. And so lo and behold, when Bitcoin hit levels like this, it actually did bounce recently. And so we're getting this nice rally. The question is, what happens next, right? Well, let's look at the current price action of Bitcoin in this bear market compared to prior bear markets. So in orange, you can see the current price action of this bear market from the peak. It's done this move. Look at the prior bear market moves in blue and green. We have 2013, 2017. It's been really rocky waters in the past. It takes some time to bottom. We get some deep flush outs. Unfortunately, I think people are a little too excited. So my point is we may still get another buying opportunity. I don't think we're quite out of the woods yet. The golden rule of investing in a centrally planned economy like this, where the Federal Reserve decides what goes up and down, is that you sell when the Fed is selling, you buy when the Fed is buying. Right now, the Federal Reserve is still selling. They are still hiking interest rates. The market thinks inflation and interest rate hiking is starting to peak, and so they're rallying the market. But the reality is something has to break. Try getting a mortgage right now. It's twice or three times as expensive as it was. Housing prices need to come down. The entire market needs to reset. The Federal Reserve is still selling and inflation is still high. I don't care if it's peaked, it's still high. So if you're a long-term investor, that should excite you because we get to pick up assets on the cheap. I know a lot of you guys are super disciplined, super high pain tolerance investors because you've been following along the entire time in the depths of the crypto winter. You're now being rewarded by a nice rally. All I'm saying is you may get another opportunity and just be ready. Don't go all in at the wrong time. We will continue to stay on top of the macro environment, but in the meantime, let's look at some early stage assets charts. So for instance, Algo, how has its total value locked in decentralized finance activity been behaving in this deep crypto winter? Well, look at the chart of Algorand's total value locked. Since the start of 2022, it had 40 million. Well, now it's just growing. It just hit an all-time high at 240 million. Now, that is not a lot compared to the big players, but that is massive growth. Look at how the big players have been doing. Polygon started off at like 6 billion at the start of the year, and it's now at 2 billion. So at least we're seeing massive TVL growth on some of these early stage assets. Again, Solana still high, 1.56 billion in total value lock, but a lot of the big players have lost total value lock. Let's look at Hedera Hashgraph, more early stage developments. Hedera Hashgraph had nothing a few months ago. Now it's at 24 million. So we have to stay on top of this on-chain data because a lot of this stuff has not even started. Like look at Flow Blockchain. At the start of literally 2 months ago, it had 2.8 million. Now it's 4.5 million. That's a double. Again, these are small dollars, but what really matters is the growth. I am very surprised to see total value locked on the Terra Luna new ecosystem in the last few months jump from nothing to 45 million. What happens if Terra Luna gets back its total value locked? I'm not saying it's a high quality asset. I'm just saying the total value locked is growing again. Now here's an update on Filecoin. They just launched decentralized finance activity. Look at the total value locked on Filecoin. Over the last few weeks, it's gone from like 600K to a million. So again, small dollars, but very exciting growth in a lot of these assets.